Okay, so you know how frustrating the housing market is right now?
Oh,
It's like you can't catch a break.
right.
We're going to dive deep today into the U.S. housing shortage
Okay.
to figure out, why it's so hard to find a decent place to live.
Sounds good.
We've got some great research,
Okay.
like expert analysis,
Yeah.
market data, even some historical context, so we
Yeah.
can connect all the dots.
Great.
And we'll uncover some interesting facts, like how much the U.S. is actually underbuilt in recent years,
Right.
and the role of, those big-time
With
investors.
those institutional investors.
Exactly.
It's a big issue.
It really is.
What I think is so interesting about all this is that it's not just prices going up.
Yeah.
We're actually dealing with like a genuine scarcity of homes.
It's like trying to find a parking spot at a concert that's sold out.
I like that.
There
Yeah.
just aren't enough places for everybody.
Nope.
And the U.S. is facing this persistent housing shortage.
Yes.
Which means there just aren't enough homes to meet the demand.
Exactly. Supply and demand issue.
Exactly.
At its core.
And get this, we've underbuilt by an estimated 3.8 million homes in the past decade.
Wow.
That's a lot of homes.
It's huge. That's like trying to put the entire population of Los Angeles
I know.
into like nowhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And on top of that, you have like the crazy cost of materials and labor.
Yeah.
You've got those really strict zoning laws.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the high mortgage rates we keep hearing about.
It never ends.
It feels like it's this like perfect storm in the housing market.
A perfect storm.
Yeah.
So let's unpack this underbuilding enigma.
Sure.
I like how you put that. What happened after that 2008 housing crash?
Well, a lot of home builders, they got burned really badly. A lot of them went bankrupt, and the entire industry just got really risk averse.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to go through that again.
No, you don't want to be on that financial roller coaster. And so they're hesitant to like ramp up construction again
Makes sense.
because they're afraid of another crash.
I see. So, but wouldn't building more homes help?
In theory, yes.
Yeah.
But then you have things like those interest rate hikes.
Right.
Which makes borrowing more expensive for everybody.
To the builders and the buyers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like trying to solve this puzzle, but the pieces keep changing.
Right.
It's tough.
It's like a moving target.
Yeah.
Speaking of navigating this tricky real estate market,
Yeah.
we've talked before about Flowers and Associates.
Oh, yeah. They're great.
They specialize in special needs housing and property investment.
Good people.
If you're looking to make your money work for you in real estate, give them a call at 901-445-8148.
Good advice.
But back to those rising costs.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when lumber prices went crazy during the pandemic.
Oh, man.
It was like if you wanted to build a tree house,
Uh-huh.
you were spending a fortune.
I know the pandemic really messed things up with the global supply chains. And, construction materials really took a hit.
He did.
I mean, we saw lumber prices increase by like over 100% in some cases.
Seriously.
Yeah, and it wasn't just lumber.
Yeah.
It was steel concrete. Like everything got so expensive.
Like someone hit the increase price button
Yeah.
on everything.
Oh, I know. It was wild.
Yeah. And then on top of that, we had the labor shortage.
Yes.
Which I'm sure didn't help.
No, not at all. The construction industry has been dealing with a labor shortage for years.
Uh-huh.
And the pandemic just made it worse.
Of course.
With fewer workers.
Right.
Wages go up.
Yeah.
Which drives up construction costs.
It's amazing how interconnected all of this is.
I know. It's like a domino effect.
Yeah. It makes you wonder if there's any way to break the cycle.
Right.
But before we get to that,
Okay.
let's talk about zoning laws.
Yeah.
Which I think don't get enough attention.
Yeah.
They play a big role in the housing shortage, don't they?
Oh, absolutely. Zoning laws, they dictate how land can be used.
Right.
And they often have unintended consequences when
Ah.
it comes to the housing supply.
I see.
So in a lot of cities, zoning favors single-family homes.
Okay.
And it limits denser housing options.
So like apartments?
Yeah, apartments, townhouses, things like that.
Interesting.
So it's not just whether developers want to build more, it's that sometimes they're restricted.
By these regulations.
Exactly.
It's like trying to solve a traffic jam by making the roads narrower.
I like that. That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
It really is. And it impacts affordability too.
Yep.
Restrictive zoning laws lead to higher housing costs.
Right.
And they limit the options for people who are looking for more affordable places to live.
Especially in areas with high demand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a tough situation all around.
It really is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a classic supply and demand issue. But the regulations just add this whole other layer of complexity.
Yeah.
And then on top of all that,
Right.
you have those institutional investors. Have you ever wondered who's buying up all those houses?
I have.
Often paying cash,
Yeah.
driving prices even higher.
It feels like regular people can't compete.
Right, it's tough out there.
So are we talking about those big investment firms,
Exactly.
hedge funds and all that?
Yeah, hedge funds, private equity firms,
Sure.
even pension funds.
Wow.
All these big players are getting into residential real estate.
Why are they so interested in houses?
Well,
Is it just about making a quick buck?
profit is definitely a factor.
Yeah.
But it's not just that.
Okay.
So first you have rental income.
Uh-huh.
And as home ownership becomes less attainable
Right.
for a lot of people,
Yeah.
the demand for rentals goes up,
Makes sense.
which makes it a reliable income stream for
Right.
these investors.
So they're capitalizing on the very problem we're talking about.
In a way, yeah.
Wow.
And second, real estate is often seen as a hedge against inflation.
Okay, how so?
As the cost of goods and services rises,
Right.
property values and rents tend to rise too.
Okay.
And that helps protect their investments from losing value.
So it's like a safety net for them
Exactly.
when times are uncertain.
Yeah. And lastly, real estate is generally considered a more stable investment
Compared to,
like the stock market,
okay, that makes sense.
especially during times of economic volatility.
So it makes sense for them.
Right.
What about the rest of us? Doesn't seem fair.
It's a valid concern.
Yeah.
These large-scale purchases
Uh-huh.
by institutional investors,
Yeah.
they can definitely drive up prices.
Right.
It makes it harder for
Yeah.
first-time buyers
Yeah.
and people with limited resources to
So-
compete.
It's like trying to play Monopoly
Uh-huh.
when one person starts with all the properties.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
And there's another issue, too.
What's that?
When these companies turn single-family homes into rentals,
Uh-huh.
it shrinks the pool of homes.
For people who want to buy. Oh, wow. So not only are they driving up prices,
Yeah.
they're limiting our options, too.
It's a double whammy.
It feels like we're in a maze
Oh.
with no way out.
Well, I wouldn't say there's no way out.
Okay.
There are potential solutions,
Okay.
but they require a multifaceted approach.
Right.
And I think the first step is increasing the housing supply.
Okay. More houses for everyone.
Exactly.
But how do we do that?
Well, one way is to ease those zoning restrictions,
Uh-huh.
to allow for more multifamily housing,
So like townhouses?
townhouses, apartment complexes,
Okay.
even co-living spaces.
I've heard of those.
Those are becoming more popular.
Yeah.
So we need to move away from those sprawling suburbs
Okay.
with just single-family homes
Okay.
and embrace more diverse
Okay.
and denser housing options.
I'm all for that.
But wouldn't that make some neighborhoods feel overcrowded?
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's a valid concern,
Yeah.
but it's all about smart urban planning,
Okay.
and creating a mix.
Of housing types
Okay,
that fit the neighborhood.
that makes sense.
Yeah. And we also need to streamline the permit approval process.
Oh, yeah, I bet that takes forever.
It can take
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah,
So if we can speed up construction.
right, because time is money,
Exactly.
especially with construction.
Yes.
So are there other ways to incentivize developers
Mm-hmm.
to build more homes?
Yeah,
Especially affordable ones.
absolutely.
Okay.
So some cities offer tax breaks
Okay.
or density bonuses
Uh-huh.
to encourage developers to build affordable units.
Okay.
Others are exploring innovative financing models
Okay.
to make it easier for developers to get the money they need
Right.
for these types of projects.
That's good.
Yeah. So there's a lot of creativity happening.
That's encouraging.
Yeah.
But what about the labor shortage?
Oh, right.
If we don't have enough skilled workers,
Yeah.
how are we going to build all these houses?
That's a great point.
Yeah.
We definitely need to address that labor shortage.
So we could invest in vocational training programs
Okay.
to give people the skills they
Right.
need.
To succeed in these jobs.
Exactly. And they're good paying jobs.
That's awesome.
Yeah. We could also explore options for skilled immigration.
To bring in workers from other countries.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So it's about making the industry more appealing
Uh-huh.
to a wider range of people.
Exactly. And creating a pipeline
Okay.
of skilled workers.
So what about those institutional investors?
Yeah.
Is there any way to kind of regulate their impact?
It's tricky,
Yeah.
but some cities and states are considering taxes
Okay.
or restrictions
Uh-huh.
on corporate home ownership
Okay.
to prevent them from buying up too much.
That seems reasonable.
Yeah, The goal is not to ban them entirely,
Right.
but to make sure there's a level playing field.
Right. For everyone
Exactly.
to have a chance.
Yeah. And another idea
Right.
is to incentivize selling to owner-occupants rather than investors.
Okay, so like giving tax breaks.
Yeah, exactly. Like tax breaks for people who are buying a home to live in.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It feels like there's finally some light at the end of this tunnel.
Yeah, it's a step in the right direction.
Good.
But finding the right balance is crucial.
All right.
You know, we need a healthy and equitable housing market.
Right.
It's not just about building more homes.
Yeah.
It's about building the right kinds of homes in the right places.
Okay.
And making sure everybody has a fair chance.
I like that.
To access them.
That's really good.
So.
This is a complex issue.
It is.
But it's really exciting to see so many solutions.
I agree.
Being explored.
It feels like we have an opportunity to create a more inclusive and sustainable housing market.
I agree.
For the future.
Absolutely. And the more we understand this stuff, the better equipped we are to make a change.
Exactly.
And advocate for things.
Advocate for change.
Yeah, in our own communities.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, it really shows how this affects everything.
It does. It's not just about finding a place to live.
Right.
It impacts the whole economy, our communities.
Yeah.
Even things like social mobility.
So it's about having a good quality of life.
Yeah.
And like the freedom to go after your dreams.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When housing costs are high, it just puts a strain on everybody's budget.
Makes sense.
And that means less money for other things you need, like healthcare or education.
Or just enjoying life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it can stop people from moving to places with better jobs.
Or better schools.
Exactly.
It's like you're stuck.
It is.
Even if you want something better.
And when there's not enough affordable housing, it really hurts lower income families and individuals.
Makes it harder to get ahead.
Yeah, it does.
It's like housing should be a basic need.
It should be.
Not just something you buy and sell.
I agree.
So what role do you think technology will play in the future of housing?
Well, we're already seeing technology change the real estate industry.
Like
those online platforms, connecting buyers and sellers, virtual tours.
I love those.
Yeah, you can view properties from anywhere.
Yeah.
And even AI-powered tools.
Right.
Helping us figure out property values.
I even heard about 3D printed houses.
That's right.
Is that for real?
It is.
That's crazy.
And who knows what's next?
Yeah.
Things like modular construction could totally change how we build.
What's that?
That's where you build the homes off-site in a factory.
Oh.
And then you put them together on location.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it could be a game changer.
So it sounds like we're on the edge of a housing revolution.
It does feel that way.
But how do we make sure this technology helps everyone?
That's the big question.
Yeah.
Technology can be used for good or bad. We have to be careful and support policies that make sure everyone benefits.
So it's not just about having the technology.
Right.
It's about using it the right way.
Exactly.
For the right reasons.
It's about empowering people.
Yeah.
Not leaving them behind.
We've talked about a lot today.
We have.
From the history of the housing shortage to all the factors causing it.
Yes.
And some really cool solutions.
There are some promising ideas out there.
It's not a simple issue.
No, it's not.
But I think we understand it a lot better now.
I agree.
And I hope our listeners feel like they can do something
Me too.
to make a difference.
It's important to be informed.
Yeah, the more we know,
yes,
the better we can navigate this market.
Absolutely.
And advocate for a system that works for everybody.
That's the goal.
And don't forget there are resources out there to help.
Right.
If you're looking for specialized housing, especially for special needs.
Yeah.
Or if you're interested in property investment. Our friends at Flowers & Associates are the experts.
They are.
You can give them a call at 901-445-8148.
Great people.
And for those of you who want to stay ahead of the curve and learn about how technology is shaping real estate, Robert Flowers has a new book out.
I heard good things about that.
It's called AI Strategies for Real Estate Entrepreneurs.
Catchy title.
And it's available on Amazon.
Check it out.
It's a great resource.
It is.
Well, this has been a fascinating deep dive into the world of housing.
Definitely.
I hope you learned something new today.
Me too.
And feel ready to join the conversation.
It's an important one.
Yeah, we love hearing from our listeners.
We do.
Share your thoughts on social media.
Yes.
And until next time, happy housing hunting.
Good luck out there.